welcome to Vertical episode number 3 of
Brutal Battle. And, like, kind of vertical, in a sense.
In between years.
Yeah, I mean, it's multiple...
It is a vertical.
There's multiple years.
It's just not consecutive.
We're getting older as we go. Yeah, it's not consecutive. We have 3 of the exact same one, and then we have the one that was kind of like the inspiration to create the other ones. So this is Founders Brewing Company out of... Where are they out of? Grand Rapids. They're out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. We don't really buy Founders anymore. These are ones that we've had for a long time. And actually, the first beer we're going to have was given to me by Dan Kim some years ago and just held on to it.
Really?
Yeah. And the other ones we had gotten and had been looking for doing a vertical at some point with, but then a lot of information came out about a really bad kind of racist work culture at Founders, and apparently things did not get better. They had actually tried to make things better and hired someone like a PR person for diversity purposes and training. And then they quit the company not that long into being there and said that it is beyond fixing. So,
wow.
Yeah, we have not purchased from Founders because we're not into supporting stuff like that. So, you know, that's just our personal thing, though. Like, I don't make judgments on people if they buy beer from certain companies. It's just a personal way that we approach purchasing things, especially beers. So there are breweries we won't buy from. But I totally understand that there are plenty of consumers out there who are like, I'm not looking into the pasts of these breweries.
And if they have a good product, they have a good product.
Right, exactly. And I get that. And that's everyone's right to make those decisions. So I'm not, I'm just telling you where we're coming from. I'm not making judgments on anyone. So that's why we don't have Founders on here really anymore. Anyway, let's get into it.
These are old AF.
Yeah. So let's get into it. The first one is Dirty Bastard, because that's then going to lead us into the Backwoods Bastard, which is bourbon barrel-aged. Now, the Dirty Bastard is a Scotch-style ale, and this one in particular is from... Oh, I don't know. I don't see a date code on this. It's old. I know that much. Were they printing date code on this one? Yeah, I can't find... Oh, wait. I think I found it. I just need enough light. Is this... Oh, okay. So this one's from 2018.
Okay.
So this one is, 3 years old at this point?
2018.
Yeah, 2018.
Okay.
So it's 3 years old at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's 8.5%. It's a Scotch-style ale. I remember when we've had this fresh, we liked it. But with 3 years on it, let's see what happens. And, we are going into this with an assumption that we might not really like these beers anymore because, as we've been finding out with, like, cellar dives and stuff like that on the show, we're letting a lot of these beers sit too long. And over time, it's not really doing good things to them. It's just doing bad things to them for the most part. And
we didn't through the cellar.
Yeah. There was a time period where people just thought, oh yeah, if they're high ABV or if they're dark beers, you can cellar them indefinitely for the most part.
So many of the flavors fall out.
Yeah. And it just ends up morphing into something it wasn't initially. And sometimes just not even intended to be like. So yeah, it just goes so far. I'm not even smelling it, but I'm swirling it. It's like a foot away from my face. And I feel like I'm getting like strong caramel coming over to my nose. So
what did you say the ABV is?
8.5?
8.5.
So this will be the lowest ABV.
It's not that boozy.
Ooh, it smells good.
Definitely caramel. I'm definitely getting that peat.
Oh, yeah. Very Scotch, like peat mossy. Yeah. I get a lot of caramel. I get a lot of like a woodiness too. Like this is not wood aged or anything. Maybe this is just what age in the bottle's done to it, but it smells woody.
Yeah.
It smells good though, to be honest. A little raisin.
Smell good.
There's a little raisin on there as well. It smells nice. Sweet. It also smells quite sweet.
Very sweet.
It's got a pretty complex nose.
I feel like the nose makes you feel like it's going to be boozier than what it is.
I can agree with that.
Like, it just smells like it's going to, like, warm my insides.
The taste, not as good as the nose.
It's very thin.
It's very thin. Yeah. Very thin.
I wasn't expecting that.
it like slides off your tongue to the point where you're really just getting the more undesirable flavors that hang out, like that like strong woodiness.
Yeah.
It literally kind of tastes like splinters of wood at this point.
It is pretty woody. I'm still getting the caramel in the taste, though.
Yeah, there is a caramel. The sweetness is not nearly as pronounced in the flavor as the nose.
It's more like burnt sugar.
Okay. Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. That's a good point.
Because caramel kind of reminds me of more of like a vanilla.
Mm. Yeah, it's usually more creamy. And
I'm not getting vanilla, but it's sweet like burnt sugar.
There's also a bit of an astringency hanging out on the end, which is rolling into the bitterness as well. Yeah. And they're kind of just like boosting each other up in a bad way. So yeah.
It's okay.
Not a great start. There's a little bit of a raisiny note at play in there too. And I am tasting a little bit of that peat.
Yeah.
That we were smelling in it. 3 years on that. If people are buying it, don't let it age like that.
My last bit in the glass, I always swig real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
It's rough.
Like, yeah, it just hits you all the wrong ways.
Yeah. It becomes even more woody, in my opinion, and it like was super drying my tongue.
It's not as complex as I want it to be. Like, I feel like when I have a Scotch ale, there's layers of flavor.
Yeah.
And this kind of...
Blah.
I mean, yeah.
I agree. Okay, so let's move into why we're mainly here, is the vertical of the Backwoods Bastard. Now, this is the 2016 edition of the Backwoods Bastard, so this is 5 years in the bottle. So the ones coming after this are even older. So we'll see. So this one, Backwoods Bastard, if people don't remember, ale aged in oak bourbon barrels. And there is some flavor text, but we'll get to that after we try it. This one's 11.2%. And they're all in 12-ounce bottles. They're all 12-ounce bottles.
Is that all Founders does? I know we haven't like looked or purchased anything,
right.
but I don't remember.
No, they started doing cans not that long ago. Well, actually, they started doing cans a few years back. Because I think like the first things they put in cans were like their Centennial IPA, which I remember really liking, and their All Day IPA, which was a really good session IPA.
Okay.
Yeah, and those have been in cans for a while now. Okay, so the Backwoods Bastard.
Did we talk about the color of the Dirty Bastard?
No, we didn't. It was very red. It was like red-brown and clear. This one...
It's a little murky.
Very similar, but yeah, a little bit murky. Not a whole lot of bubbles, but there are large bubbles hanging out on the head, on the top.
Now this smells like caramel to me.
Yeah, ooh. Caramel and vanilla.
It smells good.
This does smell good. It's like caramel, vanilla. There's a decent sweetness that smells like maybe it's going up to that line of potentially getting too sweet.
That's all I'm getting is the caramel and vanilla.
I get the woodiness that I said I was getting in the Dirty Bastard, but it's not nearly as pronounced.
Yeah. I could see that.
I feel like caramel and vanilla is almost all you're getting from the bourbon. And then from the wood of the barrel, you're getting a little bit of that.
Mm-hmm. It smells good.
It does smell good. Although, I get a slight smell of rubber. I do get a very slight rubber smell, which is kind of odd.
Huh. The flavors are very muted.
It's kind of easy.
It's very easy. What is this,
11
something?
11.2?
Yeah, I feel like Dirty Bastard felt more boozy to me.
Yes, me too. At 8.5. 8.5 felt more boozy than the 11.2. Yeah. Well, I think it's probably how the beers are built. Like, I don't think they think that a Scotch ale like this is supposed to be aged all that well, so the alcohol is going to challenge the flavor a lot more over time. This one, I think they're assuming that people would end up aging. So,
yeah, I don't mind this. I don't love it, but it's okay.
So the carameliness is walking a line for me between caramel and brown sugar. Okay. And I'm enjoying it. It is good. There is that bit of woodiness, but it's not too much.
Yeah, it's well balanced. You're getting a little bit of everything you're getting on the nose, you're getting in the flavor text, which I like.
I'm ranking them as we go.
Oh, okay. That's a good idea.
I already moved the Dirty Bastard to the end at the moment.
Yeah, because this one's better than Dirty Bastard.
This is good. I actually enjoy this. There's a slight raisin that's presenting itself now, too, because of the higher ABV. This has held up pretty well for 5 years. Consider that, 5 years. It's held up pretty well. Mm-hmm. I'm surprised. I'm surprised. I'm pleasantly surprised with this. I'm getting a decent vanilla coming through, too. And when I took a larger swig at the very end, the vanilla bumped up, which was nice.
When I took a larger swig, I just felt the booze.
I'm not really. That one's deceptive.
Oh, absolutely. I agree. It's deceptive.
Okay, so let's move on to the next one. And this one's from 2015, also Backwoods Bastard. So this one is, actually, should I read the flavor notes on that? Yeah, I'll read the flavor notes on the... it's probably all the same, but I'll read it now, and then we'll just keep it in our heads. Or should I not? And then we'll find out after. That's probably better. Because we don't want to influence ourselves on what we should be getting. Okay, so yeah, the 2015 Backwoods Bastard that is 6 years old and is 11.6.
11.2 to 11.6?
Yeah, so it went up 0.4 in the ABV category.
And that's weird because the last one we're going to do is only 10.2.
Yeah, it's lower. I guess maybe like over time they decided people want more bang for their buck. They want more booze. I'm sure all these bottles cost a different amount when they were purchased, too. Mm-hmm. Okay. This looks lighter. A little bit lighter than the last one and not as murky.
Yeah, not as murky. I can't comment on it.
It's definitely clearer. It definitely has that, like, orangey, browny. I think it looks more closely in color to the Dirty Bastard than that first Backwoods Bastard.
And not as many bubbles.
Yeah, definitely not as much head to it. Okay.
The nose isn't as pronounced.
It's not.
I'm getting more of the wood.
Yeah, I'm not.
Smell yourself?
Yeah.
Me too.
So I get a very strong sweetness. We were getting a lot of caramel in the nose of the last one. I get like a sweetness. It's definitely more of like a brown sugar in this one, and it's not as strong. It's kind of more low level. I'm perceiving more wood. Yes, I'm perceiving more wood in this one than the other Backwoods Bastard.
And I'm still getting the vanilla, still getting the caramel, but not as much. The wood is kind of the superstar on the nose.
I get a very slight vanilla, but I was getting a lot more vanilla in the last one.
Yeah.
It's not smelling as good.
No.
I mean, it's not smelling bad, but in comparison to the one we just had, it's not smelling as good. All right, I'm down to taste it.
There's like
what's
not much flavor at all.
It kind of tastes like malt water.
Yeah, it's very... I don't perceive the booze. It's a very low level flavor. You're getting a little bit of the wood, a little malty, a little caramel.
Yeah. Which I think is still coming for me, like, coming out more like a brown sugar. Yeah, it just tastes like malt water for the most part. Although, see if you can agree with me on this one. I get a little hit of like a cherry note.
Let me go in for another swig.
It's very quick, but it's like a quick flash of like a cherry. That is kind of nice.
I could see like a dark fruit.
Yeah.
Can you finish mine?
Oh, you need this.
Yeah, just pour me a little bit of the last one. I'm getting...
Oh my god, taking a larger swig of that's not good. Like we said before, it just like brings out all the worst flavors.
So where are we putting this one? Here?
I don't think so. I think that's ahead of
here.
The Dirty Bastard for me.
Okay.
Whew. All right. So this episode is not going to be super long just because, the nature of this. But so the last one, this is the biggest jump back in time. This is the 2013 Backwoods Bastard. I really think that this is probably totally destroyed as a beer, in my opinion. So this is what, 8 years in the bottle? Yeah, this is 8 years in the bottle at this point. Ooh, I don't feel good about that. I really don't. I don't feel good about that. All right, here we go. But who knows? You know, maybe there was something...
Don't pour me too much.
Maybe there was something different about this particular batch. Well, you don't have to finish what's in your glass. Because there's another beer after this.
That's true.
So, should be fine. Okay, so let's check out the oldest one. This is...
Still murky.
Yeah, I think this is the murkiest.
Yeah.
Of all of them. Almost no head to it.
Yeah.
Like, no carbonation.
Definitely
More
reddish brown.
I think it's probably the one that's most on the brown end. But it's still reddish brown. Very brown sugary.
Yeah.
It's just like...
Just sweet.
Yeah, it's just sweet brown sugar. This one might be the most like malt watery of them all, potentially. At least the nose is indicating that.
Yeah, very malty, very brown sugar. Not a lot.
Yeah. Malt water with some brown sugar. That's all I smell. A little bit of the wood, too. It's weird because I actually perceive less of the wood in it than I did the last one. But I would assume it would be more. I don't know. It's weird. Oh, did you say the ABV? Or I did it.
I don't know.
Sorry. I don't think I said the ABV. 11.6. Oh, no.
No,
Whoops,
it's this one. 10.2.
10.2. Okay, yeah, you'd said it earlier. That's right. Getting confused.
There's too many bottles that look exactly the same on the table.
That's the problem.
Yeah, it just is very watery, low-level flavor.
I mean, it's not offensive.
No.
I can say that about it. You're not perceiving the 10.2.
No. None of them I'm really perceiving the booze all that much.
Yeah, and there is something to be said for that, especially for how long they sat. A lot of the times beers, when they're being aged, if they don't do that well with age, the booze will just take over. Like that Dirty Bastard. I think it took over most in that Dirty Bastard. There's a decent perception of the actual wood in this 2013 one. Yeah, but otherwise it's just like sugary, just like hop water with some brown sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah, not really feeling it.
So drink these fresh, folks.
So this is my...
Yeah, I think that's fair.
That's a fair lineup, right? Okay, so do you want to present our lineup?
Sure. So number 4 is the Dirty Bastard.
3-year-old Dirty Bastard, which is the Scotch ale.
Our number 3 is the 2013
Backwoods
Bastard,
which is ale aged in bourbon barrels.
Our number 2...
That's the 2015.
And then our number 1 is the 2016.
So literally, the older it is, the worse it gets.
So is what I said, drink them fresh.
Yeah, drink them fresh. Or just fresher.
Yeah.
Honestly, that 2016 is not... It's tasting pretty solid. I mean, I'm good with that.
It definitely had the most complexity, and we were getting the most vanilla.
Yeah. I would say that this kind of indicates to me, don't go past 5 years on this beer. Don't age it past 5. And 5... I'm interested to know. Yeah, I'm interested to know what 4 years would be like. I feel like that would be even better than the 5 years. So, but yeah, I mean, I always like doing these because it's interesting to see how a particular beer ages, and that's literally what we were doing here. Now, yes, it would be better if we had every year going back to 2013, but A, I don't want to taste that many.
Oh man, I couldn't do that.
And B, probably the bigger of the two reasons, it's hard to keep up with purchasing the same beer every year. It really is, especially when beers get lost in your cellar.
Yeah.
And then you forget that you've been trying to create a vertical of something until you find it years later and you're like, well, I missed a year or two already, so oh no. Yeah, but this is fun. This is only the third one we've done. I don't even know. I don't think we have more beers to do anymore at this point. So if anyone wants to hook us up with some, email us, brutalbattlepodcast@gmail.com, and we can figure out how to make that happen. Matt Harvey, I know you have like a 9-year vertical of Dark Lord by Three Floyds. You want me to take that on for you?
Yeah, really.
He literally he's sent beers to the podcast before, if people remember. He's literally said to me, like, I have these 9 years worth of vertical of Dark Lord and I don't know what to do with them. And I was like, you can send them to me. Like, I was kind of joking, but like, if he did send them, we would Actually, how would we even do
man,
an episode? Because they're 22 ounces too, and they're high ABV, so it's like...
You would need a big group of people.
Yeah, you need a party to pull that off. Which maybe when times are better as far as COVID goes, we could set something like that up and actually record it and have just like a crazy bottle blowout celebration. That would actually be really cool. But yeah, something to think about. But yeah, these are fun. I love doing these. So anyway, thanks to everyone for checking this out. Like I said, if you want to get us beers for a vertical, brutalbattlepodcast@gmail.com. Do us a favor, rate us and review us, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, whatever you listen through. And word of mouth is another big thing. And we're on Untapped. I'm Carlin C. or Carlin Cook.
Rebecca C.
And I'm on Twitter at Brutal Battle. I'm Carlin at Brutal Battle. And Instagram.
Brutal Battle Podcast.
Yep. And I think we hit all the stuff.
Yeah, we did.
But the biggest thing is we really do appreciate people out there who listen to this podcast because we just kind of feel like we're just people. Just normal people just like doing something for fun on the side. So if anyone actually takes their time to listen to what we're putting out there, it does really mean a lot to us. So, yeah, thank you to you people, especially the Normans, Kelly and Kyle Norman, who have been there since day one, listening to like every episode. That is dedication. And on that note, thank you and
keep it brutal.
I feel so